Blacker than black, I'm blacker than black, yo, because I'm black and I'm back, yo, I'm black and I'm black.
Chill. Hey, y'all ain't know these chill. Ain't safe no more, fuck boy. No, they ain't safe, nigga. Ain't no motherfucking secret, nigga. Travel motherfucking die, nigga. Zone 1, Joe, nigga. Mac Town, lace them up, put them on, nigga. Nigga, chill. Slick puller, what's happening, nigga? USDA, nigga. I'm here. Hey.
You win some, you lose some. But you live to fight another day.
We had an agreement. No secrets.
What's going on, YouTube? We're back in the Low Key Cave, Keyshawn Nimes YouTube page, aka Mr. Low Key, and we back with another TV show review, and we are back with Snowfall. This time we are back with season 5, and I've definitely been waiting on this. This is definitely one of my top shows that I cannot miss, that I have to see. This is one of the ones that, hey, forget all the binge watching. I got to see each episode. Every week it come on, I got to see each episode. I can't be spoiled, and I've definitely been looking forward to this, man. Like I said, pertaining to Snowfall, one thing about this show is I've always, as far as made those comments, you know, I'm a fan of Power. I love Power. I love all the Power spinoffs. I love Power. That's my show. But when it comes to my favorite show as far as pertaining to this type of lifestyle, when it pertains to whether it's drug dealers, government, all them type of issues or whatnot, for me, it's still The Wire. It's always going to be The Wire. I feel like no show that's dived into this type of subject matter has ever done it the way The Wire has done it and perfected it the way The Wire has done it. But as far as coming close to it, I feel like Snowfall has been able to do somewhat of that. Not only with the good writing, but the good acting, but the way they are not shying away from the destruction that the drug epidemic had, especially in the 80s, pertaining to what the government involvement was in it too, and doing all of that. With all of that being said, I still got to give another shout out to Freeway Ricky Ross. His involvement he ain't got no involvement in this at all, but they are taking a lot of his story. They is, man, and I can't sit here and pretend like this is majority like the CIA, the whole involvement as far as the way they had Franklin first coming in that first season. Being with all that being said, they definitely separated the character of Franklin far away from Freeway Ricky Ross, and that's one thing about it. The only thing I will say is, if rest in peace to John Singleton, man. And like I said, I feel like John Singleton is a great director. I'm glad he did this, and I feel like this could have been his own story, but no, you couldn't have done it without having those certain aspects from that Freeway Ricky Ross story. I mean, majority of it, especially in that first season, involving the CIA, like I said, the whole them bringing in the drugs or whatnot, having him as an asset and all of that, that's his story or whatnot. But as far as what they've done with Franklin, it's a separation, man. This ain't Freeway Ricky Ross. This is Franklin. This is a Snowfall series. What I'm saying is, though, if they maybe tried to do something different with it, it could have came out different. But the thing about it is, as far as Freeway Ricky Ross story, when he do get a chance to have that story told, or when they do get a chance to do that story, I feel like that's the closest we're going to get to The Wire. Because I feel like we're going to get so much realness to that. We're going to really dive into what was going on around those times. Not saying they're not doing it, because I feel like they're definitely giving you those signs and those hints, especially in this first episode, as far as showing how that far the drugs had got not just in the inner city neighborhoods, but getting into the professional sports, getting into Hollywood or whatnot. I'm trying to make sure my thing, I don't know why it's doing all that. Okay. But yeah, as far as how cocaine and whatever they had going on had reached beyond like inner cities or whatnot. But I just had to get that out of the way, like I said, because like I said, this is one of my favorite series. I'm not on here to rant about the series, but I'm just saying, I've looked at Freeway Ricky Ross interviews. I watched his documentaries on certain things he had going on, especially in Los Angeles, with all of his involvement with the police, him going to do time or whatever. Like, man, come on. Like this man's story or whatnot. I'm just saying. But I had to mention that, but that doesn't take away how I feel about this series. I don't want this series to go nowhere. At the same time, I still want to see a Freeway Ricky Ross series. I'm just saying. With that out the way, let's go ahead and jump into this, man. We are back with Snowfall Season 5. This time, Season 5 is taking place in 1986. even in the first scene, like I said, they're showing you how they're not shying away from the drug epidemic. They're not shying away from the effects of cocaine and how the effects of cocaine had, especially in the 80s, going into the late 80s, going into the 90s. And just the destruction, especially, like I said, with the professional sports and everything as far as Hollywood or whatnot. And you're going to see a glimpse of that in this first episode. Like I said, I'm not going to spoil anything, and this is a spoiler-free review. But let's go ahead and jump into the main thing we're here for, and as far as Franklin Saint. Franklin is back and more fierce and has zero tolerance. And it's understandable with everything he has been through, backstabbing, setups, going to jail, almost dying by being shot, and not known about to have a family, including him about to have a baby. Franklin feels like he has to be more careful than ever, but no loose ends, no mistakes, keeping everything really tight. Everything must be just right, and you can see how serious Franklin is, and even everybody around him, because I really enjoyed the scene in the beginning, especially in the first episode of season 5. He has the 2 girls with him, the 2 chicks that was the hunting Leon in season 4 that Manboy had hired, well, not hired, but they was, when Manboy's sister had put the hit on Leon or whatnot. So I really enjoyed that episode, but you just see how tense everything is as far as how tense Franklin is, and just the way he is approaching everything. He ain't smiling, he ain't having a good time, he is just doing everything. I mean, it's one scene where he's pretty much kind of having a smile or whatnot when he's flying the plane, and I like that scene. And it's another scene where he actually does that, but he at the same time is when he's flying the plane, and I'm gonna get to that. But just pertaining to the way the growth, that's another thing as far as credit to the writers and what they've been able to do with this series or whatnot, as far as showing you. Think about season 1 going into season 5 and how every character has developed, especially in this episode. Because in episode 1, we're pretty much just catching up with everybody. We're seeing what everybody has been going on and what they've been doing since everything as far as going from season 4 and whatnot. And speaking of course, we jump into Louie and them. As far as Aunt Louie and Jerome, and going from season 4, they was pretty much trying to do their own thing, and they were pretty much wanted to go into business for themselves, but they still wanted to get their supply from Franklin or whatnot. With that being said, I'm very, very curious about what they got going on, because in that trailer, it did kind of seem like they weren't going to be together or whatnot, but in these first 2 episodes, I mean, they are tight. They are doing their thing. I mean, you even got Javi coming in, mentioning them. Speaking of Javi, man, he got an appearance on here, and I'm going to mention him again as far as him and Reed. But Javi even mentioned both of them, and because they really got something really going on. They got some real good chemistry going on, especially in this season with everything they got going on. It seems like everything is working out with what they are doing or whatnot, as far as running their own thing or whatnot. One thing I will say, like I said, though, is that I'm very curious because there's a new person that's helping Louie out, which is a cop, and I'm curious about her protection. Louie has some connections for protection, but I'm wondering if Jerome knows about, and I'm thinking he does know, because he did ask her, like, you want me to come down there with you? And even the cop asked her, do you want Jerome to come down here? But it's just the way they vibe is or whatnot, as far as Louie and this new dude and this cop or whatnot. And I'm curious if she has more going on with this person that she working with than we see right now. Because it's just something that seems like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm off about it, but it just seems like it's a lot more going on between those two than meets the eye. So maybe we'll see. Then we get to Leon. Leon is back running the projects, and just like Franklin, you can see he definitely has a no tolerance attitude, and that's pretty much seeing how he know Franklin is doing things. I mean, he know Franklin ain't gonna take, like, he gonna put up with no shit, so he know he got to handle his shit the right way. With that being said, I see some differences in Leon in this season, especially in these first 2 episodes. It seems like he is more into books. He even mentioned something to Franklin as far as, have you read this book or whatnot? And it seems like his mind state is kind of a little bit different. Even with the way he's still handling things the way he's supposed to handle them, very vicious and brutal, making sure he keep an iron fist to let everybody know he's king of the hill. I'm just saying, but with season 4 and what happened with him and him shooting that little girl on accident and everything, and even with that last episode of season 4, he's pretty much telling Franklin, like, I don't even know if I'm still down with this. I don't even know if I'm capable of, you know what I'm saying, going through these things that we doing, especially after everything he been through as far as what he did. But you know, Franklin with his stern voice, I'm gonna get everybody together. We gonna be family, and we're gonna get like. And Leon pretty much is just going with the flow, but you can really tell that Leon. My bad, Leon. He has a lot going on as far as things still going on in his mind frame, but he's still holding it down. Leon look like he's been working out a little bit too. I'm just saying, my man, coming from season 1, like I said, everybody, you can see the growth in everybody. You just see how everybody has changed in their positions and everything that's going on, even especially with Franklin, and just the way he has just become like this. I'm not surprised the way he does certain things in this episode. Especially in episode 1, especially at the end. I'm not surprised at all. Think about what he done in, what was it, season 3? I mean, think about what he did to the couple and whatnot. So I'm just not surprised at the route he takes. And like I said, this spoiler free. I'm not going to say what he does, but I'm just not surprised at the actions he's taking and the route he's going, especially with the fact that now he has a lot more at stake with him about to have a family or whatnot. So it's understandable, man. A new character we have this season as far as Grady. He, as far as I know, is the replacement for Reed as far as Teddy. You know, a CIA guy that was working with Franklin or whatnot. And he seems like a guy that everybody pretty much seems like they cool working with or whatnot. It seems like he has something going on as far as numbers wise, the way he does with his prices or whatnot. Not only that, he's more of he's out here like he's lavish. He reminds me of that lawyer on what was it? He reminds me of the lawyer on the movie with Al Pacino, Carlito's Way. He reminds me of Sean Penn's character on Carlito's Way, the lawyer that was helping Carlito when he first got out of jail or whatnot. But he really do. At the same time, pretty much Franklin, even Gustavo, who I'm gonna get to in a few, everybody seems like they pretty much are cool with him. Like, they seem like he's a good, pretty much guy to work with. He's a more easier guy to work with because you know how Teddy was as far as Reed. He was real tense most of the time, and everything was just it was all just always up a notch when you was dealing with Teddy. But with this guy Grady right here, it seems like besides the way he's living a lavish life as far as supposed to be the replacement for Teddy, he definitely is not Teddy. That's one thing. He definitely not Teddy. It just seems like everybody is pretty much more comfortable working with him. It seems like things are running kind of smooth. I mean, I'm just saying, these first 2 episodes, especially episode 1, it seems like everybody is just at a place where it seems comfortable. Everything is running kind of smooth or whatnot. So it's real interesting to see his character and where they try to go with him as far as episode 1 and what they was doing him as far as the new guy Grady who was coming in to replace Teddy. Peaches, man, it's something seems like it's going on with Peaches, and I don't want to, go off the rails or whatnot, but he kind of has these certain things going on with, especially episode 1. It's supposed to be like some common cold, but it seems like maybe he might be using, and it's a scene in here, and I'm going to get to the scene when I mention the character that I want to talk about, but it's a scene in here where he says something, and he's like, I used to be that fool, and y'all let me know in the comment section if I'm wrong, but he's pretty much referring to like he used to be like strung out on drugs or whatnot, or he had to get himself back together or whatnot. But it does, because he's like, I got a head cold, I got a summer cold or something, but it does kind of seem like they might be going to the route of maybe Peaches end up kind of using in this season or whatnot. And we definitely, I don't know. But it does kind of seem like they hinting towards that this episode. And as far as these first two episodes, it does seem like they hint towards that. I'm not saying that's what he's doing. It could be like just trying to throw us off or whatnot, but it does kind of seem like they hinting towards that. But yeah, they look like we might get a little bit more Peaches besides him just, chaperoning Franklin around or whatnot. We get Rob, man. Rob is back because if I'm not mistaken, we really didn't get a lot of Rob in season 4. But yeah, he was there, if I'm not mistaken, in the warehouse shootout. When they was there with Manboy and they was trying to set up Scully in season 4. But yeah, especially in this first season, in this first episode as far as season 5, there's some things going on with Rob, man. And you pretty much have Franklin pretty much coming in and trying to pretty much down the situation or whatnot. But this episode really reminds you how much Rob has been around, how much Rob has been holding it down. Like, you got to admit, how Rob has been holding it down. All the way from the point when Franklin really started doing what he was doing and having him in the valley or whatnot. And even, like I said, the warehouse scene, he was in there, like, shooting or doing what he was doing with a vest on and everything. So, it's deeper than that. You know, Rob and Franklin was standing out there at Rob's house, and even in this certain episode, as far as episode 1, and in a certain scene, they're mentioning things as far as Rob when he used to come out there to stay at Franklin's house or whatnot. So, I mean, between Leon, Rob almost got that certain status with Franklin too, as far as friendship status and as far as being around for so long and being down since the beginning. So it's really, really interesting to see how things go between Rob and Franklin, especially in episode 1. So definitely be looking out for that. And like I said, it's spoiler free, but it's definitely really interesting, man. We get to, like I said, catch up on a lot of people, and we get to catch up on Wanda, man. And like I said, it's really, really good to see where she's at the same time. It's like, damn, because she got a certain job, and I'm not going to say what the job is, but it's even got a little funny scene in here where she talking on this phone or whatnot. And when you watch the scene, you understand what I'm saying. But it's really, really good seeing where she's at, man. And she looks, you know what I'm saying? You can see on the picture right here that she's looking way better. She's not strung out. She's definitely not on drugs no more. But as far as these first 2 episodes, they're really showing you how much, as far as, because they do have a scene with her and Leon. It's in episode 2, and you showing Leon, like I said, you could see how much Leon is still dealing with certain things, but at the same time, you see how much Leon really, really cares about Wanda, man. I'm telling you, he really cares about Wanda, and I really love the scene between him and Wanda in exchange, and you could tell. I'm not going to get a scene away or what happens in the scene, but I'm just saying, he tells her something, and it's completely understandable, man. It's completely understandable, and I really enjoy that scene, and it lets you know how much Leon really cares about Wanda. We really don't get too much from Gustavo in these first 2 episodes. Like I said, besides catching up with everybody, Gustavo, this is me going back to the new dude, Grady. It seems like everybody seems like they're really cool working with this Grady dude or whatnot, and even between Franklin and Gustavo, who pretty much are left behind after, you know what I'm saying, Reed is left or whatnot, they seem like they're pretty much good with whatever everything that's going on as far as what he has going on. But as far as Gustavo, he's pretty much still making sure the kids are good, because, you know, he still got the kids or whatnot after that situation that happened in season 4. And he seems like he's just settled in life, what's going on right now with everything that's going on. So that's pretty much what's going on with him. Like I said, we really do not get too much with Gustavo. One thing I am curious about, and they really don't dive too much in this, is are we going to get more with what was going on as far as the tease, as far as the maybe getting that reunion between him and Lucia, you know, because they teased it at the end of season 4 in that last episode with him getting the pictures or whatnot and him seeing her or whatnot. So I'm wondering if we're going to get some more information on Lucia or whatnot. I'd definitely be interested in seeing that, man. Speaking of Franklin, he does have a new girlfriend, man, and we seen this in the trailers. If you did watch the trailer or whatnot, and even in the trailers they teased or they showed that he was supposed to be having a baby, so I don't feel like that's a spoiler or whatnot. But you already know how everybody is, especially coming off of season 4. Can we trust this new girlfriend that Franklin got? Is she undercover? Is she trying to set Franklin up? One thing is she even really pregnant? I don't know, but in these first 2 episodes, it does seem like she is really, really down for Franklin. It seems like she is really trying to hold the fort down as far as everything that's going on. And it seems like she pretty much knows everything that's going on with Franklin. It don't seem like he comes straight out to say everything. It don't seem like she comes straight out to ask everything. But you can tell that she pretty much has the information on everything. And speaking of Franklin, I didn't want to shy away from this. He's definitely still in the real estate stuff. And the real estate stuff seems like it's definitely doing booming. It's really, really booming. And I'm not going to give too much away. Like I said, this is a spoiler-free review. I'm going to get more into it on Uncut Ish Talk Friday. Definitely tune in there for 9 p.m. But he is definitely still doing the real estate thing. And they got a whole type of business thing going on. And it really shows you just how much they are playing emphasis on what he has planned as far as maybe trying to get out. I'm not sure yet, but it's really trying to show emphasis on maybe him trying to get out, man. Of course, my man Reed, Teddy. We get somewhat, as far as episode 1, we get somewhat of a little glance of Teddy, because I'm not even going to front. At the end of season 4, the way Teddy was talking, I was thinking we might not get him in season 5. I was thinking maybe we're going to get he going to be going away. We're going to get maybe seeing some type of relationship between Franklin and the new guy who was supposed to be replacing Teddy. And maybe we'll get like Teddy's popping up at the end of season 5, leading into season 6. But as the trailer showed you, Teddy was gonna be here. But we get like this little tease of him in episode 1. We don't get too much from him because, as you know, going into season 5, Teddy is out. Like, he's been put out the CIA. He's done. He's finished or whatnot. But you've seen what he told Gustavo at the end of season 4 or whatnot. Like, yo, this ain't the end. You be on the lookout. Watch your back. This and the third. But going into this episode, as far as episode 1, he got on like this costume like shit. And I'm like, oh shit, man, Teddy is up to something. Even when you first see him, and they don't say nothing as far as episode 1. But going into episode 2, we definitely get a lot more as far as what's going on with Teddy, what's been going on with Teddy, even a little information. And they don't give us a lot, but what he been doing. And I'm telling you, man, it's wild. Teddy, man, they pretty much explain, they even give you certain information as far as his family, because you know his wife and son or whatnot. Because remember what he said to her, that was like season 3 when he was on some demon time, and he pretty much still on demon time in season 5, straight up. When because like I said, in episode 1 we really don't get too much from him. We just get this little glimpse from him, and it's a scene where it's like, what's going on? We just got questions. And in episode 2 we pretty much get our answers. I'm not gonna say what happens with him, I'm not gonna say what he's up to, but he definitely is on a different type of level going into this season, man. I'm gonna say one line that he has in particular: "Don't call me Reed. Reed is gone. This is Teddy right here." And I was just saying, like, whoa. They are just, it seems like, and especially between the exchange between him and Franklin, it just seems like he is just on a different path, and it seems like maybe he's up to something more than just trying to get back into doing what he was doing as far as the CIA. It just seems like maybe, I can't put my finger on it, but I'm enjoying what I'm seeing, especially the exchange between him and Franklin, because one thing I'm really liking, especially with him and Franklin, is they kind of are on that same level as far as the no tolerance, the no patience, and the development of both of these characters. Because whether you see it or not, in my opinion, they seem more of the same than the opposite. Especially what they dealing with, whether it's Franklin dealing with what he's dealing with, whether it's the drug business or whatnot, and whether it's Reed dealing with what he's dealing with as far as the CIA or whatnot. They both are dealing with these situations, and they trying to deal with them the best way that they feel like they can deal with them, but just it's the way they going about it, and it's just the no level of tolerance that both of these characters just have grown to become as far as savages. I'm just gonna say it, savages, man, because it's just crazy looking at where we got with these characters from season 1. Remember Teddy, when the whole thing, when he got with that first dude, I can't remember that first dude's name, and he killed old girl, and Teddy just sitting in there shaking when he was about to shoot the dude in the bathroom. And then you got Franklin doing what he's been doing, especially coming off of Kevin and with the cop and whatnot, and just seeing the development of these characters going into what we've got them in going into season 5. But like I said, without giving anything away, it's going to be very, very interesting to see where it goes between Franklin and Teddy. I'm not calling him Reed no more, because the way he said it, I don't even want to call him Reed no more. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see where this goes between Franklin and Teddy. And it's going to be very important to see how this ends between those two. Because this definitely rides on the way things goes with them two. And man, I'm telling you, one thing about shows like these, man, and like I said, whether it's Ozark, whether it's The Wire, whether it's Breaking Bad, whether it's Power, the thing about the shows is we always get this people, including Franklin, whoever it is, our main person, our protagonist, always trying to find that way or have that plan of having a way out. That's the thing. They always having this plan of, I got a way out. And I feel like in these first episodes, it's like Franklin, as soon as Franklin even had that little hint of, I got a plan, I'm doing this, so this is the main thing to have the way out. Boom, something happens. Here we go. Shit start getting set back. And you're going to know what I'm talking about, especially going into episode 2. Especially episode 2, man. But yeah, episode 2 definitely puts a lot of heavy emphasis on the relationship that's going to be going forward, dealing with Teddy and dealing with Franklin. and definitely dealing with the organization, especially what Franklin has been working on, especially with the new guy Grady, as far as him being brought in to replace Teddy. Like I said, no spoilers or anything, but it's definitely interesting to see where this is all going and what this is leading up to, especially with everything Franklin has going on in the organization, man. But these first 2 episodes definitely just reminded me of why I enjoy Snowfall the way I do. Still putting emphasis on it that I want to see a Freeway Ricky Ross story. And yeah, man, like I said, I can't sit here and just shy away from the point that, yeah, they did, especially in that first season, they took that story from Freeway Ricky Ross. With that being said, Franklin Saint, as far as the character in Snowfall, definitely is no way in shape or form Freeway Ricky Ross. But I'm just saying that information is definitely from that man's real story. But I'm definitely like I said, I'm a fan of Snowfall, and I'm definitely enjoying these first 2 episodes. They got me even more hyped, and this is another reason why you got to make these separations, man. I love Power. Power is definitely one of the shows I love, man. I like the spinoffs, but acting and writing, it's just a separation. The same way with shows like Ozark, man. These shows are just on a different par, man. I'm just saying. But Power is good for what Power is, and that's why that show is what it is. But as far as Snowfall and as far as these first 2 episodes, man, it's tense. Episode 2, the exchange between Franklin and Teddy is one of the most tense moments you probably gonna see out of the Snowfall series. I am telling you, man. Going all the way to the end, man. All the way to the end as far as after they done talking, man. I love that exchange, man. And I was just sitting here like, oh shit, what's about that? What's going on? Because like I said, both of them are at that point now where they are not going to deal with anything that's going to jeopardize what they're trying to do, especially their motivation for the things they're trying to have, whether it's Franklin and his family or whether it's Teddy and his job as far as being in the CIA and doing what he's doing. Because, hey, especially episode 2, they're going to show you why Teddy is doing what he's doing and what's going on. Like I said, they really show you what's going on. But besides all that, like I said, that's pretty much all I had as far as episodes 1 and 2. I'm trying to make sure I don't forget anything. Javi. One thing about Javi, like I said, this is the same thing with Gustavo. They really don't show too much going on with Javi, but you do kind of see what's been going on with him because he has some certain things that he has been going on with Teddy. And I'm not going to give too much away. Like I said, we're going to talk more about it on Uncut Ish Talk Friday. Definitely be tuning in for that at 9 p.m. Friday. But they do show you some things that's been going on with Javi. And he's still pretty much in the arms dealing. He's still doing the guns or whatnot, but he still has some things going on with Reed too, as far as what Reed was doing, as far as when he was put out of the CIA, because they kind of do like some backstory on what he had going on. But above and beyond all of that, like I said, the more important thing to me is what's going to be going on between Franklin and Reed. Well, Teddy, my bad, Teddy, don't get, but definitely between Reed and Teddy, because like I said, all the way leading up to season 5, they have pretty much had a very, very cordial relationship, even with everything that happened with Franklin and his daddy or whatnot. And speaking of Alton, I really hope they give us some information on what happened with that, because I'm still one of those people that say, especially with TV shows, if they do not show a death on screen, it didn't happen yet. I don't feel like it happened. And even in these first 2 episodes, they do kind of give hints that Alton is dead or whatnot. But they don't come out and say it. They don't come straight out and say it. They do not. And even with all of that being said, it's still not no flat out information that Alton is dead. And even when these first 2 episodes, I'm wondering do Franklin know? Because they kind of, he does have a scene, not a scene with his mama, but he do have a scene where he's talking to his mama. And it's a short scene. It's not a very long scene, but it's giving indications that they both know that Alton is dead or whatnot, but I'm pretty sure he don't know that Reed had anything to do with if Alton is dead. Like I said, I'm not sure. I hope they show us that scene. I hope they give us a little backstory or give us like a flashback of that scene and show us what went down or whatnot. Because like I said, I'm still saying it. I don't think Alton is dead. He could be, but maybe not. But other than that, man, that was pretty much my review of the first 2 episodes of Snowfall Season 5. Like I said, it did not disappoint. I enjoyed these first 2 episodes. One thing I will say about episode 1, I seen that coming. What did happen in episode 1, I absolutely 100% seen that coming. Like I said, I ain't want to say nothing because I feel like it's going to give it away, but no tolerance. No tolerance. And Franklin, But definitely, it's going to be interesting to see where this go with everybody, especially as far as with even with with Louie and Jerome, and as far as what she has going on, especially with this little protection she got on the cops or whatnot, and everything with her and Jerome. Like I said, it seems like it's really good. But even with Jerome, man, it might seem like it's just something with both of them, where it seems like everything is fine, but both of them, I think, in the back got little. It's just something there that we're not seeing right now. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see where everything going. But to me, is the more important to see where Franklin and Reed go with their relationship. Teddy, I keep getting it wrong because he said it. You're going to know what I was talking about if you have watched the episode already. Don't call me Reed no more. Reed is gone. It's Teddy now. But anyway, man, make sure y'all leave a comment. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to let you know when I upload new videos. This is the road to 500 subs. Shout out to all my subscribers. And shout out to everybody who's checking out my videos and taking the time just to watch me do what I do. We out.
Only the strong survive till the day that we die. This day that we die. This day that we die. Only the strong survive.
Nothing tears a family apart like money.
Only the strong survive.
I don't feel comfortable unless I know I went above and beyond with my preparation. The things that possibly could happen, if I ain't take real steps to prevent those things, I'm not comfortable. I can't walk around, charismatic and happy. Nah, I gotta make sure, we setting up some type of wealth, because